This is rare on this channel. Pure, raw, live, unedited, not even live, but unedited video. Kyrie Irving has been traded to the Brooklyn Psych. Kyrie Irving has been traded to the Dallas Mavericks to play with Luka Doncic. Let's break this down. First and foremost, I don't even know what I want to say yet about the fit, but we have Kyrie Irving for Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, a 2029 first-round pick. We're talking 6 years from now, and a couple second-round picks. If you're the Mavericks, I'm sure they didn't even have to think about this. I'm sure the Mavericks just said, "Yep, all right." If the Nets said sure, they said sure too, and let's just close this deal and let's move on. This is one of those scenarios that I'm not going to say it's a win-win because I think the Mavericks win. Because let's break down the lineup really quick. I know a lot of people are going to come out and maybe say, well, Kyrie's not locked in after this year. And you might be trading these pieces for a one-year guy, maybe a half-a-year guy technically in a playoff run. But was the lineup of a Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, Tim Hardaway Jr., Christian Wood, Luka Doncic roster going to win a championship? That's an absolute no. There is no chance in this world, no chance in hell this team wins a championship. Yes, they made the Western Conference Finals last year, but that was also in part of an epic collapse, in a collapse that I can't even believe I saw out of the Phoenix Suns. That's why they made the Western Conference Finals. I'm not saying they didn't deserve it. I love Luka Doncic, and I love this trade for the Mavericks. I'm going to be a little bit of a bandwagon Mavericks fan here. I'm just saying it took a big collapse from the Suns, and you lost to the Warriors. And moving on, you weren't going to beat the Celtics if you did go to the finals, and you weren't going to beat the Warriors regardless. But if I tell you just the two words, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, is it possible to win an NBA championship? The answer is yes. This might be the best duo in the Western Conference right now. You have LeBron and AD. Might be a little bit better of a duo, but they're not even in the playoffs. They're not even in the play-in game. You have Jamal Murray and Jokic. You have, John Morant and Jaren Jackson. You have Chris Paul and Devin Booker, who Booker's now been hurt a lot, and Chris Paul always gets hurt. Kawhi and Paul George might be the only better duo, but Kawhi also doesn't play much. And you never know what's going to happen with them. I don't envision them making a run in the playoffs because of the lack of time they always play. This might be, if they click, the best duo right now in the Western Conference. So I love this trade. Mark Cuban, over the last 20 years, has failed to get a budding superstar in Dallas. They failed to get that second guy. They've tried with the DeAndre Jordans and even failed with somebody like him when they were trying to pick up a guy like that. They have failed to get a second star. I know Dirk won a championship during his time in Dallas. That was with Jason Kidd, older, and a Tyson Chandler, and pieces like that. And one of the most epic choke jobs by LeBron James, my favorite player. So I'm not saying that in a negative way about LeBron, but we all know that was, if there's one criticism of LeBron his entire career, you can say that Dallas Mavericks series. Now, you don't want to see that happen to Luka. They tried with Porzingis. Jalen Brunson left after last year. They haven't had that guy. Think about this. They made the Western Conference Finals last year with duos of Jalen Brunson and Luka Doncic. Upgrade Jalen Brunson to Kyrie Irving. Who says they can't make a run? The Warriors are hurt right now of Steph Curry. You have a lot of teams that are hurt, and the best team's probably just the Denver Nuggets, who I think Luka and Kyrie Irving, you can beat a team like the Dallas Mavericks. So I love this trade. The Brooklyn Nets had to do it. They had their hands tied. He's either going to leave in free agency, like he pretty much said, because he's disrespected by the contract you gave him, or you trade him now. But the Brooklyn Nets are in a weird situation. That's the next part I want to get to, because I've given my thoughts on the Luka Kyrie thing. They're going to try it out for these 4 or 5 months. If it works, he's going to sign an extension there, and we'll see how long he's happy for. They have a shot. I'm not saying they're favorites. They have a shot at winning an NBA championship. On the Brooklyn Nets side, Kevin Durant, he's going to want out. Now, this is the only fear for the Mavs. This trade could come back and haunt them if Kevin Durant gets traded to the West to a contender, because now you made this trade and you pretty much took yourselves from having a chance in the West to now Kevin Durant's here, and who knows if we're going to have a chance. I know the Phoenix Suns are still interested in Durant. And I think that's what's going to happen if he gets traded. And that's an if. But here's the deal with Durant. He came to Brooklyn to play with Kyrie Irving. He started this season and asked for a trade. And now he's not happy because Kyrie's gone, and there's reports that he's not enthralled with the idea of having Ben Simmons as his number 2. I don't know how you'd convince Durant to stay. You might be able to convince him to play out this season, but this guy's going to want out unless a superstar joins him next year. The guy wasn't happy playing with Russell Westbrook, who's a superstar. Now, it may not have resulted in championships, and it may have been not the right styles, but he wasn't happy at the end there. He wasn't happy not being the face of the franchise for the Warriors with Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green. You think he's going to be happy with no superstar and just playing with Ben Simmons and not winning championships? I don't think so. So Kevin Durant's the next interesting scenario. He's going to have to get moved, and I don't know where this is going for the Brooklyn Nets. I think we're almost at a full entire rebuild, and you just got to hope if you're the Mavs, after making these trades, you didn't just give, the Nets an opportunity to trade KD to the West, and now you're not really the favorite anymore, like I just called you guys, because KD moves to the Phoenix Suns, or who knows? Like, I don't think it's going to be the Lakers, but you know what I mean. Like, now all of a sudden KD's in the West too, and we're kind of not favorites anymore. But it's interesting, to say the least. The Nets got a lot of good pieces, just none of them that are enough to be a number 2 to a superstar like Kevin Durant. I like Joe Harris. Dorian Finney-Smith's great. Spencer Dinwiddie's great. Watanabe's great. Seth Curry is a great guy to have on a team. Nick Claxton, Ben Simmons, like Joe Harris. I don't even know who I forgot to mention. Cam Thomas. But with all those names, just adding Kevin Durant does not make you a championship team. Maybe you're a playoff contender, a team that goes deep in the playoffs, but not a championship team. So we have quite the odd situation going on in the NBA. We don't know what's going to happen with Kevin Durant. We have an experiment of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, and the deadline's approaching. So who knows if there's going to be another big move. The NBA is good at this. They never sleep. They always find a way to make us excited. They always find a way to make things interesting at certain parts of the season. And here we are again. Things are interesting. The West is all within from the 3 seed down to like the 14 seed, it's all within like 5-6 games. So everyone has a chance. Every team's a player right now. You got teams like the Lakers at the 13 seed, or the Blazers maybe, that they want to contend. They have their guys. They have Damian Lillard. They have Anthony Davis, LeBron James. There might be some crazy shit that goes down in what we thought was going to be a boring market this year, but it's not so boring now. And maybe KD's next on that list. And maybe Russell Westbrook's going to be on the move. Who knows what's about to happen? I think this is all interesting, though. Kyrie, Dallas Mavericks, contenders, a team that can possibly contend for an NBA championship if the click works. But my bold prediction is they actually will make a run at the NBA championship, and Kyrie will re-sign. He likes Jason Kidd. There's been connections with the GM for a while through Nike, and apparently he's excited, very excited to play with a guy like Luka Doncic. They both need the ball, but at the end of the day, they're both superstars. They both are some of the most elite scorers I've watched in my 20 years of watching basketball, whatever it is. I've been watching basketball since I'm like 10. So my 20 years of watching basketball, there's not many guys who can handle the rock like Kyrie, and there's not many guys that can score the ball at all dimensions like Luka, and they're now playing together in Dallas. Let's see what will happen. I'm Sammy on Tap. Unedited video, a fun one. I'll do these more often just to talk some sports with y'all, and we'll be back soon. Peace. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next.